Hi there, my name's Simon. I'm a guitar teacher here in Sydney, Australia, and this morning's video I wanted to talk about the Two Notes Audio Engineering Torpedo Captor X, that's a mouthful first thing in the morning, and how I've been using it as part of my online teaching setup. Speak to you soon. Hey there, thanks for watching this video, I do appreciate it. For videos every Tuesday and Saturday, please do subscribe and click the bell for notifications of when they arrive. Today's video we're going to talk about the Two Notes Captor X and how I use it in my teaching setup. To start off, I'll talk about, I guess, a little bit about why I bought it in the first place. I used to have students in here in my room. I'm just in the back of my house in a suburban part of Sydney, and after I'd been in here for a while teaching by myself, using mics to deliver the signal via the audio interface, kind of realized that it was pretty loud in here actually, a bit slow on the uptake. I've been living here for 15 years. So I was just kind of thinking that, you know, maybe not so great for my neighbors and maybe not so great for me either. So I wanted to look into a way of delivering the tube amp sound over the internet, making sure that the sound is as good as possible for my students. So I looked into a few options. I looked into an aux box, and that was pretty much off the table because I just couldn't afford that. It's $2,500 over here. I saw some secondhand ones online, almost bought one, was gazumped at the last moment, and then I looked into alternatives. One of the alternatives was this Two Notes Captor X. I bought it from a retailer actually in Italy, and they delivered it here in about 2.5 days, which was absolutely amazing. I put a description to them in the description below. I thought we'd have a talk about how it works, how I use it. Might be useful for you, particularly maybe if you're a guitar teacher yourself. Anyway, so I've got a guitar. I use this Boss WL20 wireless thingo. I find it amazing. I use it in the teaching room, I use it at gigs. For $200, have a wireless system is absolutely unbelievable. I never experienced any dropouts, but that's another gear review video, I guess. As you can see down here, I've got a few pedals on the board. I don't know why I've got a phaser. I must have been teaching something with phase the other day. But also a looper pedal. So from here into the pedal board, out of the pedal board, into the amp here. You can see I've got it set pretty low. I've got it set 2.5. Now I suppose the good thing about that is that I can experience breakup and how the amp actually sounds, and I can send that over the internet without it being crazy loud in here. Whilst that's only 22 watt amp, you know, that's pretty loud, as you'll hear in a second. So first up, let's play some guitar, and you'll hear firstly how it is through the line, as in what I'm sending to the students, and then secondly how loud it is in the room here. So here's the line. And here it is in the room. So I have it set on the lowest setting, this sort of bedroom setting. There's a little knob here on the back. I'll take a picture of that so you can see this knob on the back at the bottom here. Now I can shift it up halfway. Okay, so that's halfway. That's club setting. I'm not going to adjust the settings in the line, but you'll hear now that's significantly louder. So this is on the line now, and this is in the room. And that's through the lapel mic here, right? Okay, and then the top setting might explode the line, but we're going to see. And in the room, so you can hear significantly louder here in the room, right? Let's put it back down to the bottom. Significantly louder. Here's the room. So you can imagine that I probably wouldn't have had it on 2.5 in here when I've got it like just naturally straight into the amp. But even to get a kind of sound out of the amp that's vaguely usable, you have to have it on at least 1, you know, and then even then you get some weird sort of crunchiness, horribleness. Yeah, so I've got to say that has been absolutely fantastic. The second part of our chat here, I just wanted to quickly show you how the interface works. It's super easy. So what you can do is you can set up how close the mics are to the amp. That genuinely makes a difference. I'm going to do a demo here, but and the different types of mics. You can choose, dynamic mics, ribbon mics, condenser mics, all sorts of things. You can change the cabinet. It comes loaded with, I think, maybe 30 cabinets. So, all the way from 112s to 4x12. So, it's a really useful bit of kit. You've got EQ here, an enhancer. You can put some reverb even on. As you can see, I've got a bit of spring reverb at the moment. So it's a really, really useful thing. And the last thing, I suppose, just to talk about how it is actually set up. I have a line coming out of the amplifier that's connected to the back of the Captor X, and it goes back in. So effectively, I'm going from the pedal board into the amp is going into the Captor X, the Captor X is coming back out into the speaker, so that's what you can hear in the room, and at the same time it's delivering to the Focusrite via a line. So really, really useful bit of kit. I've got to say I'm super impressed. Usually I'm pretty old school, like as you can see, guitar amp, send the signal, but it's been amazing here in my little room. Really happy with how it sounds. The last thing I would say is that I actually did a gig last Friday night. Now, I guess this is probably the only sort of slight mark against the box. With the 22 watt amp, on the club setting, which is kind of the first level of attenuation, it just broke up way, way, way too early, and it was just not the right amp probably for the box. So that's really kind of my fault, I guess. I guess it would have been great if it would have worked live as well with the amp. I didn't really need it for the amp because it's 22 watts is a pretty sweet sort of level for the sort of small club gigs generally that most people play. But it kind of would have been nice as well. As you can see, I've got like a few different kinds of amps in here, sort of this Monkey amp, and then I've got a little Ibanez amp. I've got a few other amps, little lunchbox amps in the cupboard there. And I'm going to give those a go as well, because it might be quite neat to sort of hook it all up and just have the monitors deliver my guitar sound to me, because then you can be sure of what's going exactly out the front of house, which would be quite neat. But it didn't really work with this amp, which is a 22 watt Fender Deluxe. So in summary, I suppose it's been amazing for in here. I've used it for recording. You've been hearing it through the, or I'm using Audacity here just to record it. It's a very, very simple program. And the sound that I've been able to deliver to students has been absolutely fantastic. Everybody's really, really happy at the other end of the line, so to speak. But in terms of the live thing with this deluxe amp, wasn't quite ideal. Maybe a higher wattage amp, like a strong, 50, 100 watt amp. It'd probably be better because those things really, really need some taming. So there's my sort of run through of what it does. I hope that was useful for you, and I will see you soon. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you are able to support the channel in any way, it's available from $3 a month at Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Simon Morrell. I'll speak to you soon. All the best. Bye for now.